How you doing today, everybody? Watch Display here. Check out my Instagram at Watch Display, where I sell a lot of watches as well as on the forums. Today I have for you a Longines Heritage column wheel chronograph, and this specific column wheel chronograph is the reference L6882. That's actually the movement reference you'll find back on the rotor right there above the Longines and where the indentation is cut out of the logo. And the actual reference on this one is, actually just show you the tags because this has everything with it, but it's the L2 742 4762. And this one still has everything with it. The little tool that you'll actually change. You can even use something like a toothpick, but that will actually change the date for you. Super easy. And this one is 39 millimeters. The lug width, which is in between the two lugs, or what size strap you would actually put on this, is 19 millimeters, as indicated by the strap. We'll talk more about the strap here in just a bit. The lug to lug on this one, you can see the lugs kind of slope inward, and they contour down quite a bit. Now, this isn't a super thin watch. It is around 14 or 15 millimeters thick, if I'm not mistaken. But it wears really well due to the 39 millimeter overall case size. That's from the 10 o'clock diagonally. Not including the crown or the pushers, but it wears really well, even though it is a thicker piece. And I do believe the sloping lugs also help it wear pretty well. And part of the reason why it's a little thicker is you do have this kind of contoured outward on the exhibition case back. The movement is decorated really well. It is a column wheel movement, and I mean, for me, I think Longines offers a very good price point column wheel chronograph. You know, fully Swiss made. You can get Chinese kind of, I guess, remakes and certain models for really cheap of the column wheel. But I mean, we're talking actual Swiss column wheel chronograph. I feel like Longines really does deliver that well for their price point. And Longines doesn't get a lot of love anymore. So these secondhand you can get for an insanely good deal. I've got this one listed for $1,100 or best offer right now, shipped. It's full set. It's with all the stuff that came with it, box, inner and outer. I usually don't mention price, but I do want to get this one moved. But it does have really nice rose gold hands, as well as markers that are very well polished and finished. It also does have a little bit of lume. You can see on the outer edges of the hour markers, as well as physically on the hands. You can see there's a very thin area of lume in there. Other than that, I mean, I wouldn't say this is a heavily lumed watch. But I mean, you can see it. Lume is decent. It doesn't really compare to anything like Seiko or Omega Lume, but it's lume. And for this price point, I really don't expect too much on the lume. I like the date down in between the 4 and the 5. It's just kind of out of the way, and I think for me it works. I love having a date. That's one thing that I really disliked on my Daytona. I had a Rolex Daytona for a while. Really loved that watch, and honestly, Rolex is probably, a lot of people don't like the Daytona. It's not exactly loved by everyone, but I will say straight up, there's not a chronograph out there that has a better proportion watch. I mean, the watch wears phenomenal, and it's very thin for a chronograph. And it is what it is. And honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. The Daytona is what has kind of jaded other chronographs for me. It is truly a work of art in terms of the overall case. Why do you think it hasn't changed in years, other than lugs being you know, polished on the top or whatnot. But that's my Daytona rant. You can tell, obviously, I love Daytonas. I don't own one right now, but I do love them. I think they're very well made. But back to this one. Of course, you just start the chron, and this one might not be, yeah, it's not even wound right now. We'll wind it just to get it going, because this has been in the box. I thought I had it sold the other day, and then guy started kind of haggling me on the price, and you know, I feel like at this price point, it's a really good. There it goes. Takes a second sometimes, but yeah. So I think it's a really well made watch for the price point. The strap is genuine alligator. It's pretty good. It doesn't compare. You'll see in my other video. It doesn't compare to the Zenith alligator strap because it has this kind of calf on the backside. And keep in mind, guys, I make, well, I don't now, but I did make straps for quite a while, about 3 years. I have extremely good materials imported in from Italy as well as other parts of Europe. And this calf, I mean, it's soft on the skin, but it's just not, it's cheap. It is what it is. But it works. And at this price point, I don't expect a whole lot. Stitching is done well. Decent. There's a few areas where you can see. I could honestly probably have hand stitched this a little bit better. But anyway, back to the movement. We can see the chronograph is engaged. We stop it. We reset it. Of course, you see this jump back to the 30, completely right on the money, as well as the stopwatch seconds. Well, I wouldn't say seconds, but the stopwatch hand is right back to the 60. We do have a Longines tang buckle. I really like this tang buckle. It's done really well. Really nice. But all in all, I mean, it's a great bang for buck chronograph. It's a great chronograph for the money. And Longines got some amazing history. They're not completely loved in the U.S. anymore. They're still really loved in Europe. I've traveled to Europe in the past year or so, and you still see Longines all over the place there. And I think rightfully they are a really well made watch. I mean, they do offer entry-level watches, which I do think kind of hurt the market for them a little bit when they really they got bought out by the Swatch group, and they kind of started, I think Swatch really wanted to differentiate Longines through Omega, so they started really offering some cheaper variety. So the higher end pieces actually unfortunately hurt a little bit from that, because a lot of people look at Longines and they don't realize that there are some Longines models that are $3,000, $4,000, and even $5,000, and kind of hurt the brand a little bit. But I think the case is done really well. It's kind of got this cool little area right here, and then we have don't know if it's focusing on there, but we do have Longines. Does that say Longines? Well, we have something on the crown. And pushers are cool, simple pushers, kind of more like the vintage style. This is a 2017 reference and shows very little, if any, signs of wear. I mean, it's really good condition. So feel free, check me out on Instagram at Watch Display. It's going to come with everything: box, inner and outer, tags, tools, booklet. I mean, I even have all the wrappers and plastic that it came in, everything. Direct message me on Instagram at Watch Display.